Hello guys, this is Alex, your car guy, and I hope you're all doing well. Haven't made a video in a while, but I want to make this video. I help somebody because I have this all 8 Mercedes S550 4MATIC, and I'm gonna be replacing the extension tank today, which is this guy. Very easy process. I won't show you how it's done. Similar process for pretty much all 7 to 2013 Mercedes S500, S550. I believe S350 should be the same. Shouldn't be that different, anything like that. So I want to show you why I'm doing this and how easy it is and what tools you're gonna need to do that. So first, here is the new extension tank that I bought. There's a part number, but this is only for Bulgaria, so I believe that's gonna be different for different places. There's only one bolt that's holding it here at the top. One nut, actually it's a 10mm nut. Right here there's one plug connector, electrical plug connector right here, 2 hoses that go into here, one that connects to the bottom part of the radiator, and there's just 2 pins that just hold the bottom place of the tank. So very easy. Tools you're gonna need are also very simple. You're gonna need 10mm socket, and then you're gonna need a set of decent pliers to remove the bottom bolt clamp that holds the bottom hose, and then you're gonna need a small set of screwdriver in order to remove that. So one of the things I'm going to show you, first things first, you want to consider safety, big deal, especially when it comes to dealing with coolant. One of the things is you want to leave the car cool off before you do anything, because you don't want to open that tank while the car's all hot. There's a chance you might burn yourself and you might get hurt. So you always want to think about safety first before you do anything. So I pretty much came to my garage and I had the car sit for a little bit over an hour so it decently cool off. Once it cools off, then you can start working. Then you can remove the cap and it's safe. It's not gonna spill, it's not gonna burn you or anything like that. Okay, so there's the cap. Now I want to show you why I'm replacing it. It's no big particular reason. It wasn't overheating or anything like that, but there's a small crack from which you can see right here that is basically kind of steaming off some coolant over time. So I didn't want to deal with that. That's one of the reasons. The other reason is very important actually. It's actually very dirty in there. So if you see, if I can show you guys, see that the tank is actually very dirty, and I got myself some new coolant right here, mixed with deionized water and some coolant, and once we replace that, should be all decent and good to go. Now what I use to drain the old coolant is I use this pump right here. It's very easy, extraction pump. There's plenty of those available that you can buy. Mine is this one, and I'm very happy with it. I bought it, I believe, from AutoZone or O'Reilly's when I was back in the US. And then it works on anything, really. I mean, you can change your oil with this thing. You can change your power steering fluid, your coolant, and anything, because there's a big thin hole that hose that you can connect and then extract your fluid. And then check this out. This is from when I, look how dirty is the hose that I used to put in to extract the coolant. And that's one of the reasons why I'm replacing it, because this dirt can get into your coolant, can contaminate your, it can create issues with your radiator down the road and all that. So I didn't want to have any of that going. Excuse me here for a second. But I didn't want to have any of that happen, and that's the reason why I'm replacing this. So here it is, continuing on. Sorry for the drop. Oh, you also want to put a catch pan down there No, I have in my garage, I have this well right here. You can go down, work from underneath. It's very comfortable. And that's one of the reasons why I want to have a catch pan for your coolant is because, you know, once you disconnect these holes right here and you lift this up, there's got to be coolant coming out from these hoses down into the ground. So if you're doing that in the garage, you don't have a catch pan, you're gonna have an antifreeze coolant leaking all over, and you don't want to have that. So basically, let's start. Basically, just very simple, like I said. Remove this 10mm nut right here. There it is, removed. Very easy. Then you have this electrical connector plug right here. You're gonna just press this downward and remove it like that and pull it on the side. I believe this is for the coolant temperature. And then gonna use our flathead screwdriver, and you're gonna need a thin one because these are thin, to just lift these up. All you're gonna do is you're gonna lift these up like that, like this, and then like this, and then you're just gonna pull them straight out. You see, like that. So very easy procedure. I've done other work on that car in the past. Not everything is easy. Some things are very easy, but most things on the W221s, as far as working on them, are quite complex and quite hard to do. So then what you're gonna do is you're gonna carefully lift this up like that, okay? And then this is what I mean. You're gonna lift it up, and you're gonna have a little bit coolant, even like I'm gonna show you right here. But even if you drain most of it with this thing, you're gonna have a little bit left in the hole. So that's where the leak comes from after that. So then the clamp, I wanna show you guys the clamp because I already disconnected because it wasn't that easy. It's one of those, you see that type? It's this type where you're gonna do it like this, like that on both sides, you see, and clamp it and remove it. So that's why you need a decent hose clamps to disconnect it. And then once you do that, you're just gonna remove the hose from right here. Like I said, make sure the car is cold. You don't wanna burn yourself with some hot coolant because it's very dangerous. Okay. And yeah, so you see I had a little bit leaked off, but it was just tiny bit. And then that's how you remove the old tank, guys. And good that I'm thinking about replacing it because, oops, look at all the sluggish from the inside. I mean, this is just bad. And that's why I'm replacing it. Put a new one. Once I put the new one, I'm gonna put also a new coolant. You see? Just like a guy I really like on YouTube and I follow, Old and Dirty, New and Shiny. Brand new. And it's not that expensive either. So if you guys wondering, I mean, like I said, I give you the prices I know for Bulgaria where I'm located currently, but this is equivalent to about $40 for what I paid for this. So not bad at all. It's not really that expensive. So yeah, and then you're just gonna put it back on, and then you're gonna want to be careful because actually one of the groovements right here I see that's been squished a little bit. So I'm gonna try to fix it real quick. Oops. Why is it like that? I'm gonna probably have to take it out. Yeah, so that groove is very important because the bottom part of the tank sits on it, and you don't want to have it. There you go. Oops, I actually fell right down here. Try to get it. Oops, don't fall. Okay, 1 second. I need my lights. Okay. So use these pliers can come handy again. There you go. You see that groove right here? So that was out of place. And then oops. See, that groove was out of place. So I want to make sure it's back in place, and its place is right here. See that? So I want to make sure it's there good before you put it back on, because that's gonna hold the bottom part of the coolant tank in place. So there you go. Just gonna put it back on there. There you go. And now it's perfect. Okay, so then what you're gonna do is you're gonna carefully take the new tank, and then carefully put the new hose all the way up into this, right? You saw that? Then again with the clamp, you gotta be very careful too, because one thing you can do by accident is damage the hose by okay, there's actually, okay, like that. You don't want to damage the hose by pressing the clamps and hit it with the hose clamp, but I'm going to show you how I'm going to do it, and then the best way it works for you is just be careful, you know. So carefully on both ends at the same time, press it like that, boom, and then boom. This is it. Very easy. It's not that hard. Just gotta be careful, you know. And then now it's tight. Now I want to put it back, the new tank back in its grooves, and then use a light. And I'm going to show you again. The bottom one goes right underneath that air, underneath that hose, and then this one goes down here. And then once you do that, then it's pretty easy. Then all you're gonna do is you're gonna put the new coolant, put the cap, put the hose, a 10mm nut, and then it's easy. You actually use that hook. Okay, just the extra light in there. So yeah, once you do that, put that in the groove. 10mm nut onto the bolt, the groovement, and then you want to line the hose. Don't forget to lift these up first. When you lift them, they're unlocked. When you put them down, they're locked. Okay. All right. There you go. Like this. Boom. And boom. Okay. And then click, click. And now they're tight. They're all connected. I'm gonna put the plug back in. Boom. And that's good too. Okay. All right. New and clean. And then, like I said, I'm gonna put some of the coolant back in there. put the coolant and use my clean this thing before I put it on, and then we'll be good to go. So it's pretty easy. There's a couple other things I did on this car myself, like thermostats. You know, some of them are easy, some of them are not that easy. Like I said, replacing a light bulb is actually not that easy, because on the passenger side you actually have to remove that to get to the bulb, and on the driver's side it's even worse. Have to take all of this out just to get to one light bulb to replace. So but either way, like I said, some things are easy to do, some things are really not that easy to do on that car, but it's worth it because this car drives very smooth and it's a nice car. So all right, so put the coolant, the new coolant on. I have to remove the cap. I'll be smart. So put the new coolant. This is actually concentrate, so you don't have to put half of this and then half of deionized water, distillated water, I should say. And then once you do that, I'm gonna start the car, let it run, and then see how it goes. Put a little bit more coolant in there and we'll be good to go. Okay. Sorry for the long video. I just wanted to show you the whole process of how it's done. Okay, now the coolant is at the top level. There you go. That's good. So again, guys, really easy to do. Nothing too hard. Put this in my sink and then close the cap. And we gotta go ahead and start the car and then see how it goes. Gloves off. So now let's go ahead and start it and see how it runs. And then, go from there. Here's the keys. Here's the keys. There you go. Alright, some weird noises, but I did spill a little bit from the coolant, so gosh, I hope this is where that came from. But either way, just most importantly, make sure there's no leaks. I think we're good. Because yeah, like I said, if you want to check that out down there, this is where the coolant leaked off a little bit.